Who is your weirdest family member?
Me. Probably me. Everyone else is regular except for me.
Welcome to the
People of fucking Boston. Shout out people of Boston. Park the car in Harvard Yard. I'll tell you what, the people who do this podcast, whoever's listening, good shit. They're good shit. We're here with the people of Boston. They're beauties. We're chilling.
All right, and we're back. People of Boston podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Joe.
And we got one question that we asked people of Boston. We didn't have a lot to go out with for this week. So we are going to look at Celtics just won game 3.
That's right. Up 2-1.
Yep. So we're going to look at Klay Thompson's comments about Boston fans.
Lame.
Because we thought that was kind of funny.
Yep.
And we're also going to ask people who's their weirdest family member. So that's what you can expect coming up. And before we start, we got to just plug our website, which is thepeopleofboston.com, where you can find us wherever we are on whatever platform. Mm-hmm. Leave us a review because that's going to help us if you like us. Even if it's a bad one, I don't care. You know,
just we take anything at this point.
Yeah, just leave us something. Just even if it's just a stars and no words, whatever it is. Go ahead and do that. That would really be great and help us. And then we have YouTube and Rumble. So if you're just listening to the podcast and you want to watch it, and you're not watching it on Spotify, you can find us video-wise on YouTube and Rumble. So that's it for what we have to cue you guys in on. And let's get into...
So I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but you just filled me in on what I thought was a new feature of the website where we can have people sign up to be guests.
Yes, so we have a register as a guest tab that's on our website. So if you are somebody who would like to come onto the podcast and have maybe some notable experiences or something specific you want to talk about, whether it be a in-depth story that's kind of interesting and maybe people haven't heard, or a product even, or anything you want. If you want to come on, you can register as a guest. It's new, and I don't even know how it works because no one's done it yet. So give us, some time to figure that out. But yeah, so if you want to register as a guest, go to thepeopleofboston.com, and right on the top will be register as a guest. You'll see it. So good point, Joe. And now we get into Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Game 3.
Yeah, Klay Thompson. What a joke that whole situation is. We're gonna break it down for you guys here at the People of Boston.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about this, right?
Before we go into it on your end, maybe we'll put the clip in right now of what he said. So let's go to that.
What were your impressions of the crowd and the environment tonight, and how much was that a factor in the game?
It was not a factor. We played in front of rude people before, dropping F-bombs with children in the crowd. Real classy. Good job, Boston.
All right, so that was the clip. Joe, you have some notes. You have a lot of notes here. Wow.
I had a lot to break down for the people of Boston for this episode.
And you're the sports guy between the two of us. So
yeah,
that's why we wanted you to kind of run this and give your 2 cents. So what do you think?
That's right. I'm on point, not only because I'm incredibly athletic and strong. I also have a great working knowledge of all contemporary and history of sports.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys heard what he said, and this is what I want to talk about. The reason why Draymond Green was getting those chants to begin with. Okay, so if we can go back a game, in game 2, what happened was Draymond Green fouled Jaylen Brown as he attempted a three-pointer, and this was after, Matt.
Now the chants hold on, sorry to interrupt, but the chants were F you.
They were fuck you, Draymond.
They got 5 perimeter players in.
And Draymond Green hearing it from the crowd with an obscene chant. As Brown will inbound, coming up on 4 minutes remaining.
Yes, that's the fuck you, Draymond.
That's the chants that Klay was referring to.
Yep.
In his interview.
So these chants are because of this.
Exactly. So Klay Thompson called those, the chants classy. So, but here's the thing: they wouldn't have been, there wouldn't have been chants at all. Okay, if this didn't happen. The previous game, Draymond Green fouled Jaylen Brown on a three-point attempt, and this was already after Draymond Green had a technical foul. Okay. So he had 1. If you get 2, you're out.
Okay.
So they didn't give him 1 on this play. But he had already had 1, so he had to be careful, and he wasn't careful. And what he did was he fouled Jaylen Brown. They're both on the ground. Draymond Green goes to get up, and he tries to pull Jaylen Brown's pants down.
Really?
Okay, yes.
Draymond fouled me on a 3, then put his legs on my head or whatever. I tried to get up, on either way, but I don't know what I was supposed to do there. Like some guy, they got their legs on the top of your head, and then he tried to pull my pants down. I don't know what that was about, but that's what Draymond Green does.
So this was
the NBA Finals.
That's right.
And they're saying that the Boston fans are the trashy ones.
Right, and not classy, right?
Yeah.
So this is my thing. I would consider that move exceptionally less classy than the chants from the Boston fans last night.
Yeah, because you're a player. These are fans that are coming to see their team play in a championship game. You're the player on the court, acting like you're 10 years old playing pickup.
That's right. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard as a player.
Yeah.
And my whole thing with Klay Thompson's take on this is he says that like no one's ever said a curse word in front of a child at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So sure. He's full of crap. And not only that,
just see all the homeless people shit on the ground. That's all they see. Forget the curse word. They just have to step over shit everywhere.
True.
All the homeless.
At the same time, after the same game, Draymond Green sits down with the press to talk, and they asked him, how he's feeling after he played or something.
Yeah.
And he said that he played like shit. And this is with his child next to him.
Marcus Thompson, the Athletic. Draymond, how do you feel you played?
Like shit.
So Klay Thompson can't.
They don't
possibly. No,
they're doing this mighty holier than thou thing, trying to make Boston look like shit. But they're,
the only reason why they said, and Coach Steve Kerr for the Warriors to this as well, that it wasn't classy was because there's nothing that you could say or do to defend Draymond Green attempting to pull somebody's pants down in an NBA Finals game.
Yeah,
I mean that shouldn't happen in any NBA game at all. But it happened in the Finals game, and they couldn't defend it. So they called Boston sports fans classy. Weird. Weird. And you have that guy on your team, and I get that. He's your teammate. You got to defend him, but you couldn't defend him, so then you attack your opponent's fans.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And they lost, so they just sound like suckers.
Yeah.
They just sound like losers. If you won and even said that would be a little bit cooler. You win, and then you say, oh yeah, they were screaming at us, we still won. But you lose, and then you come out and you cry like a baby. It just, yeah. Well, that sums it up.
Let's go Celtics.
Go Celtics.
Who's going to win it? The Celtics. Because there's no other reason why. The Celtics are the balls.
And that takes us into what our one and only question is for the people of Boston today, which is, who is your weirdest family member? Do you have somebody that stands out?
Yes, without a doubt, have somebody that stands out.
Okay.
So I would say, I'm not trying to steal anybody else's thunder that we talked to this week.
Yes.
But there's an argument to be made that I am the weirdest family member.
Okay. Yeah, so, some people did say they were, themselves were the weirdest.
So part of me wants to say that it's me. I am weird. Here's my thing, Matt. I don't typically think before I speak, and I've been told that my whole life. Most recently, kind of realized it as an adult. Whatever the first thing to come to my mind is, I usually just blurt it out and say it, and therefore I say some weird stuff sometimes. So I would say there's an argument to be made that I'm the weirdest family member.
This is the good thing about weird, and people would ask for a definition, and I would always say it's up to you, because weird is subjective. Of course, whatever you're describing right now, some people would see that as a complete positive or pro, like within their own life or their own family type thing, and that's why it's weird is subjective again. So that's why this question's interesting, and that's why I left it up to the people to decide. So again, you saying you're weird, maybe other people are like, that's not weird, but that's the thing, is it's your definition.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it's weird that some people play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Those same people probably think it's weird that I spend all my free time researching, New York Knicks articles.
Yeah, and watching the crime videos on YouTube. Yeah,
exactly. Shout out Police Activity on YouTube. Great channel. So, anyway, part of me wants to say that I'm the weirdest family member.
Okay.
The other part of me needs to tell you the story.
Okay.
So I do have a really weird family member on my dad's side. Okay. So my uncle. So my uncle, weird, doesn't talk that much. Pretty quiet at family functions. Not really the life of the party. Doesn't really drink. Is kind of just there.
Okay.
Right. So maybe by that description you think, oh, he's not that weird, but he is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the weirdest things, this is the best example that I could possibly give you. One of the weirdest things that my uncle did was when he was a child, so well before I knew him, but when he was a kid. One day his toilet gets clogged. Okay. And so it's my dad's family, their house. Toilet gets clogged, and my grandmother, my non, is giving everybody a hard time. Trying to figure out what happened, who did it, how are we gonna fix it? Because back then they didn't have a lot of dinero. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So she was pissed. So my uncle that I'm talking about gets the bright idea to clear the clog himself. So his mother didn't have to go through the trouble of calling the plumber to get the plumber
maybe
to clear the
if
clog.
you know what you're doing, it's not that hard.
That's right. Unfortunately for him, he had no idea.
He didn't know what he was doing.
He was a young kid.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was a really long time ago. My dad's family used to have grenades.
Okay,
laying around their house.
Yeah, typical American family.
I say laying around their house. They're probably like boxed up. Yeah, exactly. The nuclear
We have grenades here. Every place has grenades. It comes with the apartment.
So they weren't laying around the house, but they were somewhere in the house that was accessible to him when he was a child, which they shouldn't have been, but it is what it is.
Yeah. 50s, 60s maybe.
Yeah. This dude takes the toilet off whatever screws or hinges that it's on, bolted to the floor, takes the entire toilet off, okay, gets a grenade, throws it down the hole
of the toilet
and blows the basement up.
That was his way to try to fix it?
Exactly.
Or was it an accident?
No. He thought he was being helpful. He was a kid. He didn't, really know what he was doing.
Like how young? Like teenager?
No. Younger than that. Like 8, 10, something like that.
Oh my god.
Yep. Just wanted to please his mother and clear the clog up for her.
Dude, he's lucky that it went down the toilet and didn't just sit there and blow him up in the face.
That's right.
Wow.
Learned a lot of life lessons that day.
Yeah.
And not allowed to use grenades ever again.
That's
He's a lifetime ban on grenade use.
A shame.
So
when parents take the grenades away as a punishment, that's the worst thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
he's a freaking weirdo.
Yeah.
Doesn't listen to the podcast, which is good for me.
Good.
He's not going to hear this, but
yeah.
It's
very
very weird.
trying to get their grenades back and fix his toilet. Wow.
Yep.
All right. So that definitely takes the cake for a crazy family and story.
Yep. What about you? Weird family member.
I've been thinking about this for a while. I have one that I can't say because it just... Yes. So I figured out who my weirdest family member is, and it's my aunt. Okay. Not gonna say her name, but she's single, never got married, and finds I guess pleasure through interesting hobbies, you can call it, right?
Okay.
And she does reading club and stuff like that, and the sewing club, and with a group of women. But one of the things that is the weirdest, in my opinion, and some people are going to hear this and say that's awesome, it is kind of awesome, but for me it's weird because I don't partake in this, is LARPing. Have you ever heard of this?
I have heard of this. LARPing, yes.
Yeah.
It's not a game. It's not a interactive drama. It's not a play. It's not a performance. This is a world.
Have you ever been?
I have not, but it's like the stuff from role models, right?
Yes, yeah. You dress up in cosplay, basically, and you go to war with one another, right? And you run around. Maybe you pretend it's like a stick horse and you ride it.
Yep.
You have a sword, usually, a bow and arrow, medieval-style weapons. And, you camp out. I mean, she'll go and camp out for sometimes a weekend and do this LARPing.
Yep.
And basically live in the medieval times to have some fun. And you know what? Look, I love Lord of the Rings. I love those movies. I love Vikings, the show, which is kind of medieval, right-ish, but that's kind of vibe. And I like watching that stuff, but I just could never see myself wearing a costume at all. I don't even wear a costume on Halloween. So it would be tough to convince me to do that, but that's her thing.
Yep.
So, and if she sees this, I might come once just to see, but that's it.
Try it out.
Yeah, try it out. And that's it, though, and that's all I can say about the weirdest family member. And with that being said, we'll kick it out to what the people thought.
We got grenades. We got LARPing.
Yes.
Let's see what the people of Boston
best of both worlds. That's all you need.
That's right.
Modern day warfare versus medieval warfare.
That's right.
Good. All right, let's hear it. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Where are you off to today on the bike?
I just came from Lynn. I'm about to go all the way to Jamaica Pond and come back.
We just came from Lynn, Mass?
From Lynn, yeah.
You drove all the way down here?
No, I biked all the way down here.
From Lynn, Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm about to go all the way there and back. So that's a total of 24 miles.
Why? Are you training for something?
No, not really.
You're just driving around?
I just don't really have, I'm just bored.
You're just bored?
Really got nothing to do, yeah.
Getting some exercise in?
Exactly.
Nice, man. Cool. I can't believe you biked. Did you have to go on the highway?
There's like paths and stuff. I just went through this big intersection.
Yeah.
Mainly like paths and stuff.
Wow. All right, cool. Good for you. Good luck getting home. Is that where you're from, Lynn?
I'm kind of from there. I alternate back.
You're all over?
Yeah.
Nice, cool. Who is your weirdest family member?
Me. Probably me. Everyone else is regular except for me. Doing shit like this, no one does this. My dad's at work, my sister's at work, my mom's at work, I'm going to. So me, I'm probably the weird one.
You're probably the weirdest?
Yeah.
What other weird stuff do you do? Besides riding the bike all over Boston.
Let me see. Specific weird stuff?
Well, just you got any like hobbies that maybe people would think are weird that you...
So I box.
You box? Cool.
Yeah, and I make websites, which is
awesome. Is that what you do for your money, your living?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Cool. That's awesome. You on? What are you on?
Fiverr. Just email everything. I go around, door to door, business to business.
Awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you. So, entrepreneur.
Exactly.
What else you want to do, like in terms of your entrepreneurial work? Like anything else?
But I'm just doing everything I want to do. So
nice.
It's like, there's no list. I just do it.
Awesome. I love how you're the first person to say you're the weirdest family member. Yeah. I love it. I love the honesty. So who's your weirdest family member?
I have an uncle who his job, he's a line striper.
Okay, like for the roads?
He paints the lines in the road.
Okay.
And he has a giant truck and he flies like a huge American flag in the truck. And also what he did was he painted a portrait of Hillary Clinton in a prison cell and put it in his truck.
Nice. I wonder who he votes for.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge secret in our family. Yeah.
And you don't like that? Because as you said, it's weird. So you must not like it?
It's just, it's not, I guess it's weird in like our family because he's not like.
Maybe he's the outlier politically?
He is, at least with like my in terms of like my parents and us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys get into it at like Thanksgiving and Christmas about politics?
Sometimes. We try to avoid it kind of for my grandma's sake because she gets fed up with us like talking about it.
Yeah. All right. Where's your grandma lean? Is she with you guys on politically or is she
a little bit. She's kind of with us.
Yeah.
But it's like been over time.
Yeah.
She's like leaned left as time progresses.
Yeah.
I would say.
Now, are you the one when things come up? It sounds like he's on an island, right? Now, who's really going back and forth with him across the table when it gets going?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad.
And is this his brother or brother-in-law?
Brother-in-law.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. Because my mom doesn't like. My mom doesn't like to get into it with him.
Yeah.
She likes to keep the peace, I would say.
Yeah.
A little bit, but my dad is very much likes to debate. He likes to fight with people. He's a strange guy. But actually, I had these. My mom's uncles, when they died, they were insane hoarders.
Yeah.
So we had to clean out their entire house, and it was just like. Kind of like what you would see on hoarders, like just stacks, completely stuffed the whole house.
What was the worst thing you found when you were cleaning it out, or somebody found when they were going through all the crap that was in there?
There was a lot of
dead animals.
There were some like roaches and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of old like newspapers from like 60s, 70s, 80s, like.
So he's holding on to the old newspapers for no reason.
For sure.
Yeah. Wow. All right. That's good. Sounds like you had an interesting family.
Yeah, I would say.
My brother.
Your brother? Why does he get that title?
Too concerned. That's it.
He's too concerned?
Too concerned, yeah.
He's like a nervous Nelly?
Are you sure that's it?
That's it.
I'd probably say my uncle just because he's my uncle.
Well, what does he do?
Why?
Yeah, what does he do that's like weird?
He's fucking drunk and all over awesome, but like he's drunk.
So he's just a drunk and...
Yeah, you know who you are.
Drunk people are cool.
No, but I don't know if he's cool or not.
You guys get along though, no?
Yeah, we do, but not.
Who's my weirdest family member?
Yeah.
What do you mean by weirdest?
I'll let you define it.
Okay. I'd say my sister.
Okay, why
Yeah.
your sister?
I mean, we're very similar. I'd say she has some quirks to her, and yeah.
Well, what quirks? Like, what does she do that makes her the weirdest in the family?
I wouldn't say she's like weird. Like she's just very, she's pretty outgoing, and like she's pretty fun to hang out with.
Okay.
Pretty funny, and so.
This sounds awesome so far.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she's weird.
So who's the weirdest?
Yeah.
Maybe uncle, aunt? Do you have anything else? Even an extended family that's like does something that's always weird? Like everyone's like, "Oh, there he goes again," or "There she goes again."
Maybe my uncle on my mom's side, but even then he's not that weird. Yeah.
What does he do?
He's also very like the like clown of the family.
Okay.
And so whenever he like makes a joke or says a comment, like we're always like, oh, that's our uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Is he more funny or more weird?
More funny.
Okay. So it's not like you don't have anyone weird in your family.
Not really. Not really. Yeah.
That's all right. That's okay.
I have an uncle who is famously known to have eaten like a meatball sub that he left on his truck window or whatever, dashboard, after like 5 days.
Oh my God.
And so, I mean, again, love the guy, sweet man, salt of the earth, crazy.
Was it like winter? Was it summer when he...
Oh, it was summer. It was baking in the heat. I don't even want to imagine how not okay or edible that was at that time.
But the meatballs were cooked like 7 times over.
Yes. So he does that. He does that sort of stuff. But big fan of him. Good dude.
Yeah.
Means well. Still living because that I feel like could knock you out in a second.
Well, yeah. If you can do that, I mean, you can do pretty much anything.
Yeah. His stomach is steel for sure.
So who's your weirdest family member?
Great question.
Brother, sister, uncle, aunt, mom, dad.
Do we have a definition of weird or just like?
I'll leave it up to you. Like something just stands out that's always like, seems a little. People would think that's weird.
I honestly think it's me. I might be the weird one.
This is the second me.
Yeah, I think it might be me.
Why are you the weirdest one?
I say whatever comes to my mind.
Okay.
I usually try to I can't have silence, so I usually fill it, and usually it's something bizarre.
Okay.
Also, it might be people who agree to do this podcast are probably pretty weird too.
Yeah, exactly. You stopped. Your friends didn't want to stop.
So like that could be part of it.
Yeah. All right. That's good. We love weird people.
Mm-hmm,
That's good. Who's your weirdest family member?
I would say.
Married? Are you married?
I'm not married. Okay. I'm single as fuck.
As you said,
I am newly single as fuck. Let's go. So, my weirdest family member would definitely be my aunt. Shout out to Michelle. She's hysterical.
Yeah.
So, she once told me, she said to me, do not, no matter what the fuck you do not give up that motherfucking cookie. Because I swear to God, she's like, do not give up that cookie. Because those men will be chasing after, do not give up that cookie.
But cookie's a metaphor, right?
It's a metaphor.
Okay.
Do not give up that cookie. Know your fucking worth. Know who you are. Know what you have to offer. And believe in that. Because that is going to make you go the distance, baby.
So that makes your aunt sounds pretty normal.
She's actually kind of cool.
That sounds like
That
sounds like good advice.
It is kind of cool advice.
What's something that this same aunt did that was like, maybe like, I don't know, like, great, like, that was good advice. That's the only reason I'm saying it, because did she also do something that was like crazy?
The thing is that she has done that same thing. You learn from experience. That's the thing, is that if you want to give it up, if you don't, whatever, you do what you have to do. You do what's best for you.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do in life, if you want to be this, if you want to be that, go ahead.
Yeah.
Do it. Have fun. Be the best version of you that you can be.
That's great. And that's all we had for you. Next week we'll be back with more. Actually, next week I have not political questions lined up. I'll tell you them after this.
Okay.
but it's basically put yourselves in the shoes as if you're the president style questions. You're the president for the day. And then I have a list of questions that have to do with you being president for the day. And what would you do, basically. So I think it'll be fun. That's for next week. So we got a lot of questions coming up for next week, and that will be fun, I think. And we'll have to see what people, how they respond to them. But that's all we got for now.
All right.
Do you have a new word?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you asked.
Words with Joe, where you learn a new word from an Irish American male model every week. Get ready to learn, bitches. And take off your shoes. Because your socks are about to be blown off. Figuratively.
I did find a new word. And this is something that came across, I don't know if I was reading an article or like reading this book that I'm into right now, like where this word came from this week, but somehow it came up and I looked it up and I was like, oh, I can talk about this on the podcast.
Cool.
I'm gonna tell you the word and I'm gonna ask you if you know what it means.
Okay.
Perfunctory.
Perfunctory.
This is a real word. I'm not kidding.
Okay. Perfunctory. If I had to guess, means that. Perfunctory. It means you're good at something, but like you do it in like a cool way. Like you do it in a way with some style, like funk, like perfect and funk. So like you're really good at something, but not only are you good at it, you do it with with black nail polish and like funk style to it.
Okay,
that's what.
Good guess. Very creative.
Yeah.
What perfunctory means is it's a word used to describe something that is done without energy or enthusiasm. So like using that word in a sentence.
Matt did a very perfunctory job in the bedroom last night.
Exactly, yes. Matt was, perfunctory performing cunnilingus. Something like that.
Yes.
Right.
Which, working on it. But
no energy, no enthusiasm, perfunctory, my new word.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, I guess, you're welcome for that, everyone, because you can go ahead and use that in your life, daily life, and trip up some people that don't know what it means.
That's right. You can sound smart as smart as heck.
Smart as heck.
Right, because I'm not swearing.
Yeah, good. All right, that's it.
See you next week.
Bye.
I've been in instances where in classroom participation, I raise my hand and say, 2 + 1's 3. They invite the class, go, 3, ha, ha.